Marketplaces are here in UEFN, and they open up the possibilities for monetizing your islands in a lot of new ways. In this tutorial, I'm going over pretty much everything you need to know, creating offers, displaying the shop UI, and making it all work. This is quite a big game changer to how the ecosystem of Fortnite works, and this tutorial is a little bit long, so I recommend grabbing a snack, and let's just get to it. Okay, now first things first, before we do anything, go into the Fortnite credit portal, and there's new updated agreements you have to accept. So if you go to the top here, you want to do read agreements. If you click on this, you're going to see the new Fortnite developer terms. You'll just update the terms that will support all of the new stuff. Make sure you read through that and accept it. And would you look at that? We're now ready to go. Now you're probably wondering what in-game items are. Basically, Epic describes it like this. In-island transactions provides a way for you to create your own in-game economy by offering items to players in exchange for V-Bucks. Use verse to define the item name, description, and price in V-Bucks. Review your catalog of offers and monitor sales performance within the credit portal, while the system ensures a central, unchangeable record of every transaction. So essentially, you can create your very own marketplaces on your maps and sell items inside UEFN. Now for actually how much you're going to be getting from this, basically developers will ordinarily earn 50% of their V-Bucks value from the sales within their islands, so the other half goes to Epic Games. But from December 2025 through to the end of 2026, this rate will be 100%. Now this amount will vary depending on store fees, ranging from 12% on the Epic Games Store to about 30% on the current consoles. And the fluctuation of price of the V-Buck itself, which is affected by how many earned V-Bucks are circulating through the ecosystem, earned being from Save the World or Battle Passes. Essentially, this will fluctuate the price of the V-Bucks, and also with store fees, you're roughly speaking about 50% of V-Bucks value translates to about 37% of actual retail spending, and 100% translates to about 74%. And if you want a little bit of reference point, currently Roblox gives creators roughly about 25% of the creators' in-game revenue. Our next thing, what can we actually sell? There's two main categories of what kind of product you can sell, with the third one being more like you can just interchange it. Effectively, you have durable items, which is an item a player can only buy once, and that doesn't expire over time, so it'll stay on the player forever. For example, this would be an upgraded shovel. You also then have consumables, which is an item that depletes when used in game, so like seed packets, for example. And then lastly, you have paid area, which can be either consumable or durable, and this is an offer that provides access to an area behind a paywall. For example, a farmer's market where a player can take the produce they grow and sell it. So just any other paywalled area. Now besides that, you can also read through the Fortnite developer rules, formerly the Fortnite Island creator rules, specifically section 4.4, for what you can and cannot sell with in-game items. Just keep in mind these rules are always changing, so I would recommend always just going and checking and just seeing if there's anything new. I'll leave a link to the rules in the description. Firstly, you cannot sell V-Bucks, real world goods, or services through this. You may only offer things that exist in your island. You cannot be misleading about your in-game island items on or off platform. You must accurately represent the in-game item or experience that you're offering, including its features, price, functionality, and limitations. For example, you must not suggest that it has features or effects it doesn't have, or imply it's limited in some way, in time, availability, discount, or otherwise, if it's not actually limited. Do not adjust how you offer products for sale based on Epic made cosmetics that the player has equipped. For example, you cannot offer different prices for an in-game island item based on what outfit the player has equipped. Do not offer XP or imply that your offer includes granting of XP. For example, do not use the term XP in your in-game item offer or description. You can offer custom passes and progressive systems, but you must be clear that the progression only pertains to the island of which is offered. You cannot use terms like battle pass, experience, or XP in a paid progression pass. To maintain player expectations that the following categories of items work everywhere, do not offer in-game items or the following types, regardless of the terms used to describe them. Emotes, or an animation or dance on the character that is initiated by the player. Outfits, a character's overall appearance, sometimes referred to as a skin. Cars, trucks, or buses. You can offer in-island items that have visual overlap with items available in the Fortnite item shop, aside from emotes, outfits, and cars and trucks and buses as noted above, as long as they have gameplay value and are not purely cosmetic. This also goes into the next rule, which is do not use the same terms to describe your in-island items that are used in the Fortnite item shop, including auras, backbling, contrails, drift trails, emoticons, gliders, harvesting tools, or pickaxes, jam tracks, kicks, sidekicks, sprays, and wraps. And like I said, this will go on as they add more cosmetic types to the game. Now, for example, you can offer boots of speed as an in-island item because the item has gameplay value, which is speed, and the term does not overlap with items available in the item shop. Kicks, but you cannot offer cosmetic kicks as an in-island item because that item does not have gameplay value and uses the same term as the item in the item shop. Now, just to clarify on these two rules, this does not mean you need to make all your cosmetics have gameplay value. You can have cosmetic items. If they overlap with already made Fortnite cosmetics, you have to give them gameplay value. So for example, if I'm giving my character like a contrail, like a line behind them, a little particle effect that follows them, that's fine. I can make that purely cosmetic. But if I'm overriding the shoes of the player, I have to make sure my boots of speed or whatever has a gameplay value, which is speed. Just not make it too similar to kicks to avoid confusion. Next rule is that if your experience includes any paid random items, which I'm going to get into in a second, you can use appropriate APIs to ensure that they're only offered to eligible players. For example, if you offer in-island random items in exchange for V-Bucks, you must have the paid random item value set to true. If your experience includes a paid in-island item that may be redeemed for a random item, you must use the allowed paid random items function. In all cases, you must ensure players see an accurate numerical odds of obtaining each paid random item prior to purchase. Some regions and platforms have rules and restrictions about what in-game items you can offer and how you can offer them. You must comply with these rules and restrictions. To help you with that, we as an Epic have provided information and tools here. I'll leave a link to its description. I believe it's called the In-Island Transactions Restrictions documentation. Go into that if you want to read it. Again, this information is non-exhaustive and it's your responsibility to ensure you comply with all the rules and laws regarding your in-island items. And the last rule is that you must stop in-island transactions at least 20 days before permanently unpublishing your island. So that's pretty straightforward. What islands are not eligible for in-island transactions? Islands published through the IP Partner Licensing Program are not currently eligible for in-island transactions. So that's, for example, any branded IP island. So Walking Dead universe, Fall Guys, Rocket Racing, K-pop Demon Hunters, stuff like that. All those islands, you cannot use this in it because I don't know what Epic's plans are. Those adding in-island transactions to an in-island impact engagement payouts. No, the revenue earned from in-island transactions does not impact engagement payouts, so it won't change it. The next thing is that how are returns handled? All in-island transactions are final sale. However, to help you manage any issues, you'll be able to initiate bulk returns through the creator portal. You'll be able to do bulk returns of items if you need to. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the minimum and maximum V-Bucks price developers can set for items? All items or bundles of items available for players to purchase using in-island transactions must be between 50 and 5,000 V-Bucks in an increment of 50 V-Bucks. So it's like 50, 100, 150, and so on. Next thing is a huge thing you want to consider is that can items be purchased in an island with in-island transactions be used on other islands? Basically, islands purchased using in-island transactions can only be used in the island where they were purchased. All purchased cosmetic items in the Fortnite item shop, for example, outfits, emotes, music, and cards, will continue to work in all islands just as they do today. Please note that purchased items will not be usable outside of the Fortnite ecosystem. So there's a big thing right there. Currently right now in UEFN, there's no like cross progression between islands, which is a big bummer, but I think it's a limitation of our time. I'm going to guess this is going to be added in the future though. There's also parental controls to if you have paid random items in our map that parents will only see. And also it's important to mention that on the creator portal, you'll be able to find all your different things, like all the different bundles and offers you have on your island, and also all the different kind of analytics like your purchase and payouts, revenue breakdown, aggregate earnings with accumulated net fees. You have top selling items, low selling items, percentage chance from prior release averages, total sales to the current release, owner only, and average sales for prior releases, so owner only. So you have a bunch of different things you can look at. You're also going to be marked in Discover if you do have in-game island transactions. So it will say contains in-game purchases in the description on the island's page. Your island will be marked on Discover. This is say that it does have in-game purchases if you do include them on your island. Now, you've probably been hearing say paid random items. You're probably wondering, what's paid random items? Well, anyways, a paid random item is a random reward players purchase or redeem in game. This random item can be a single offer or a bundle offer. So essentially, these are gambling mechanics. Now, this is extremely important if you are going to be making paid random items. Remember, you must indicate to which items are paid random items, and also you must show the percentage chance they're paid random items. Like I said, parents can restrict whenever a child can spend V-Bucks on paid random items. And again, there are documents giving you helpful tidbits on how to actually navigate the legal side of things. Now again, I'm not a legal advisor, and this is not legal advice. As a developer, it is your responsibility to comply with all relevant laws and Epic's policies. You should consult a legal advisor when determining how and when the law applies to the content you publish in Fortnite Fortnite. It's provided by Epic themselves, which also, by the way, is also not legal advice either. Again, you should probably consult a legal advisor for determining how and when the law applies to the content you publish in Fortnite. Now we can actually go into UEFN and actually show you how to actually make stuff. So first things first, if you actually want to enable Marketplace on your island, currently it's in experimental, so you cannot publish with it, but soon you will be able to. But if you wanted to actually enable it, you want to go to project up here, go down to project settings, all the way down, and you'll find this button right here called Marketplace and Experimental Access, and you want to turn that on. Now we should have it enabled. Now, nothing really changed, but that's because we just added diverse APIs for everything, so it should be enabled now. And the next thing you probably want to do is you want to go up to Tools, and you want to open up our product catalog. Now, this is going to populate with all our different products we're going to make inside of Verse. Right now, there's nothing in here because we haven't made anything. So as we make different kinds of products, they'll all appear here with all the different descriptions, disclosures, and everything like that. This will also appear on the creator portal when you publish, so you'll see all that as well. But anyways, okay, so to actually make our thing, we're going to go into Verse up here. We're going to go down to Verse Explorer. And we're just going to right click here and we're going to add new verse file to the project. Now, Epic have provided their own 8-line transactions device, which will get you started on how to actually make it. But for this video, I'm going to make a normal verse device and I'm going to do it from scratch because this is going to be our transactions device. And then I'm going to create it. Okay, if you actually want to open up your thing, you can go up to here and double click it. And it's going to open up your project in VS Code. Make sure you have VS Code installed. Now, once you're in here, you're going to see this. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. And basically, first things first, up here on using, we want to add in a module. It's fortnite.com/marketplace. This is going to give us our marketplace we need, the API. And then maybe also we want verse.org/assets. And there we go. Okay, so the first thing is that we need to make a few modules. We're going to make a module for our products info, our products, and also our offers. So we're just going to define something called products info. There's going to be a public, and we're going to make it so it's a module. Okay, now inside of our module, this is where we're going to put our information for each product we're going to sell. So I might sell a gnome product. This is going to be a sub-module of our module, so I'm going to call this public, and we're just going to find it again as a module, like so. And instead of here now, we're going to include all of our stuff. Now, what I'm going to add in here is our name, our short description, and a long description. So we're going to do name. This is going to be I'm going to make it so it localizes, and it's public, and this is going to be equal to a message, and I'm going to equal that to our name, so this is going to be our gnome, like so. Next one is our description, and this is going to be a localizes, public. It's going to be the same thing again, a message, and this is going to be our description. So inside of here, we're going to do, this is a gnome that you can use, you know, bro. And then we have a short description, which is our final thing we need for each. And this will basically just be what we're going to be using. So this is going to be, this is a gnome for a short description. I know, pretty wild. And basically, we now have made our module that contains all of our data for our gnome product. Now, that being said, basically what we can do now is you can just grab this, you can copy it, and this is going to be for our other products. This could be our, I don't know, gun product. Our gun could be called gun. Our long description can be, this is a gun, you can shoot it. And then our short description can be, this is a gun. Oh boy. Now, obviously, these are just examples, but you can make whatever you want. I've also maybe want an example for consumable items, so I'm gonna call it my shield potion item, and this is gonna be for what I want. Again, I'm just gonna copy everything. This gets very modularized, so you can just copy and paste a lot of stuff I make here. But basically, this is gonna be called our shield potion. Basically, our description will be, you can use this to regain 50 shields, and then we can have a short description of you get shields. Oh boy. Now again, I believe this is the normal description has a limit of 500 characters, and the short one has a limit of 100 characters. So just keep it in mind. Okay, now we have all our products info. You can add more stuff in here. I do believe you can add like an icon and everything, but we're just gonna do that in the regular products. So to actually make our products, we're gonna make another module called products. And we're going to call this public, and this is going to be a module. Then inside of this module for our products, we're going to want to include our products info. So we're going to using, and we're going to get our products info, and we're going to use it like that. I might just call this my products or something like that. There we go. I think it's clashing or something. I don't know, but so I'm going to call it my products, and I'm going to bring in my products info, which is this. I might call this my products info maybe, because I have the example in another file, which if you see like in here, it has like it's the same name. So I'm just gonna call something else, but you can just call it whatever you want if it doesn't clash. But anywho's inside my products, this is where we're gonna actually put our products, our main information for all of our stuff. Now this is very important. Always you want to do in every single project, or every single project you make, you want to define this. I'm gonna make this which is basically this is my ln product, which is equal to a class of abstract taxable product. So basically, this is a class that's inheriting from this class over here, which is called product, which basically allows us to make our own products, and we're just going to call it my ln product. You have to do this, please don't forget. But next step is that we actually have to make our different classes of our products. Obviously, you can see now that we got a product class, and now we made our new class, which is my ln product. We can now use my ln product to make our own products, if that makes sense. So we're gonna make a subclass of my ln product class. Alright, so my first product, I'm gonna call this my basic gnome, because why not? We're gonna make this public. We're gonna equal this to a class, which is going to be our, we can create first. And basically what this class will be is it's going to be our my ln product up here there. So it's going to be a subclass of that. So we're going to put that through there. And basically now inside of here, we can basically define all the different stuff about our basic gnome. So I'm just going to first, we're going to make our variable, which is going to be our name for our product. There's going to be an override. There's going to be a type message, and it's going to be equal to, if you remember from up here, since we're using my ProductsInfo, we're going to get gnome product, which is going to be done here. So we'll do my message is equal to gnome product, and we're going to do name. So we're just going to do dot like so. Now this is going to get an error because we actually have to define more, but it should be working now. Next step, we want to do our variable for a description. We're going to override. There'll be a message, and basically we're going to do gnome product, and we're going to get our description like so. Next step, we're going to do a short description. Override. You can type message equal to gnome product, and that's gonna be our short description. So again, we're just grabbing all of our stuff from our other module we've made up here. Now, next step is that after we've made all of our stuff, we have to make a few more things, which are going to be our icon. So first, we're going to make a variable. It's going to be for our icon. Override. This is going to be a type texture, and this will be equal to some kind of texture we're going to import into our game. So currently in my project, we don't have anything. It's literally empty. So I'm going to make a new folder. It's going to be our textures. So I've just imported this texture icon, which is my gnome. Now currently, if I click onto this, it's not square. It's like a rectangle. Remember, these have to be like, squares. So you have to resize to the power 2. To do that, you just want to right click. You want to go up to texture source actions, and you just want to resize to power of 2. This is going to basically use the nearest power of 2. So this is going to be the icon we're going to use. So the actually references in verse. First, we want to compile our verse, and now this should now be saved into our asset digest in this little file up here. Now inside of our asset digest, you can now find we have our texture for our gnome texture icon. And then once we have this, I want to include the file path and the name of the texture. So the file path is textures, and then it's going to be inside of here, which is gnome texture icon. So inside of here, we're going to do textures dots, and then we're going to copy the names and we'll paste it in there. So once we have done that, we now have referenced our icon. Once we have our icon, next step is that we need to make sure we have to define if our thing is a paid random item or not. So we're going to do paid random item, and we're just going to add in an override. I think I spelled override wrong. It's spelling it wrong. It's been 2 R's, right? Oh god, there we go. We'll do logic, and we'll equal this to false. Like so. Now, if you have paid random items on, you have to set this to true. And also, there's also another one called paid area, which is also an override. And we're just going to set this logic also to false, because this is not a paid area either. If it was, you're going to set this to true. But now we have made our first product, which is our basic gnome, which is pretty cool. Now again, also, these are the ones you need. This is also the ones you need. But there's also optional ones, like I said before. And there's a few optional ones. Firstly is our consumable. Is it consumable or not? So if it is, you want to do true or false consumable. This is a gnome, so I'm going to do false. But if it was a shield potion, I'd do true. Next thing is our max count. We can actually have a max count, so we'll do max count. This is again another override. There's a lot of overrides. I can never spell it, bro. There we go, override of type logic. And this is basically, type int, I mean, this is the count. And this is going to be how many items you can actually hold or buy at one time. My max count of basic gnomes I can have is 1. They can increase this to 2, 3, 4, 5, however much you want. So we can do it like that. So this is basically our product done, I guess. Essentially, if you want to make more products, basically just Control C and then Control V, and what do you look at that? We have another one, and this is gonna be our gun, because again we have a gun one. This is all gonna be the same name. We're gonna make it so it's our gun product. There we go, gun product. Now doing a module like this is gonna be very helpful for later on, as we have to use more stuff. Texture icon. I don't know what I'm gonna use. Oh, I might get a pistol. So here I am again. I have a new gun texture icon. Again, do the same thing I did with the gnome. I'm gonna go to textures right here, and I'm just gonna replace this with our gun texture icon. Paid random item off, false is off, consumable is off, and max count you're gonna have 1. Then also we'll just do the last one, which is our shield potion. Now this is slightly different because this is going to be a consumable item. So we're going to do it's our shield potion item we're going to grab. So we're going to call this our shield potion item like this, and like this. Our texture is going to be shield icon textures, and then we'll go back into here, paste it in like this. And then this is going to be a consumable item, so we're going to call it true because again, when you use a shield potion, it's consumed. And this can go for any custom item or anything you want to make. I'm just using a pre-made Fortnite item to make it easy. And our max count will do 3. You only have 3 of these at a time. Okay, now we have our products. Next, we need our offers. So this is going to be another module we're going to make called my offers. And this is where the fun begins, okay? This is where we can actually price our things, add different things. It's going to get pretty customizable. So this is going to be public. I'm going to put this to a module. Now inside my offers, I'm going to do using our product info again, my product info, because that'll, again, we can just use that inside of here. Next up is we actually make our offers. So inside of here, I want to make my gnome offer. And my gnome offer, basically, what we're going to do is this is going to be a public. This is going to be equal to class. I'm going to get a specific class called product offer. This is what it's going to be, and it's going to be a subclass of the class product offer. Now, first things first, we want our name. So variable for name, which is going to be an override. And in here again, we're going to get our product. I'm going to get my products info, and we're going to dot, and we're going to get our gnome product. I'm going to dot again, and we'll get name. So we have our name for our gnome product. Next, we need variable for our, of course, description. It's the same thing again, slightly different. You have to get the my products info, gnome product, and we're getting the description. Now, I'm just going to copy this, paste it in again, and this is going to be for our short description. So short description. So again, we have another one for our short description for our gnome offer. Next step is our icon for our offer. So we'll just do our variable icon. We'll do override texture is equal to this. Now, this could be anything. You can even change it if you want, but I'm just going to reuse the same one because I guess so the texture is equal to our texture gnome, like so. Now, if this was like a special kind of offer and our gnome was a cool offer, I can change the icon like that. But effectively, next step is that we need to do our we want to get our products. So we're going to use product types, which is like kind of a thing, and this is going to be an override, and we're going to put in our product that we're going to actually be selling. We're going to call something a concrete subtype of product. I'm going to equal that to our, it's going to be my products, and it's going to be our basic gnome. This is going to be equal to what it actually is. So it's going to be equal to this one right here, our basic gnome. And there we go. We've made it. So this is our basic gnome. Next step, we want to do our price. So this is how much it's actually going to cost. So we're going to do override price dimension, and it's going to be equal to make price V-Bucks, and in here we're going to put our price. So let's say I want my gnome to be 500 V-Bucks. What do you look at that? 500 V-Bucks. Now keep in mind again, prices can be between 50 and 5,000 V-Bucks in increments of 50. So it could be 50, 100, 150, so on and so forth. It needs to be in increments of 50 and a maximum of 5,000. So if I do 75, I can't do that, or 64, I typed wrong. Or if I do like 6,000 V-Bucks, you can't do that. It's a maximum of 5,000 and a minimum of in increments of 50. So 150 and so on. So you can do it like that. So that's how pricing works. Now, there's a few other things you can do with products. You can actually make alternative offers, so you can have different kinds of products to sell. If I wanted to make an alternative offer, what I could do is I could go back up to my very top up here. So if I want to make an alternate product, I could make another thing in here. This is going to be my gnome alternate product. This is going to be my alternate gnome. And basically, this could be like a special price. So like this could be like a special price today, and stuff like that, or like half price. Now, effectively, make sure you're just following all the rules and regulations, because there's a few things about the wording you have to do. Just make sure you're following those. It's in the in-game transactions restrictions documentation I mentioned earlier. Now, since we have our alternate one, we can actually make our alternate gnome offer. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it again. It's going to be our gnome alternate offer. Again, in my product, I'm going to do my gnome alternate name product. It could also be alternate like so. And then we can make a different texture if we want. I'm going to keep it the same. So for example, now our gnome alternate offer, let's say it's top price, so it'll be 250 V-Bucks. So this is going to be my alternate gnome offer. That's going to be 200 V-Bucks. Now let's say I can actually add parameters for this offer. For example, I can make it so it's only available in certain countries or for players that are a certain age, stuff like that. Now again, this also doesn't have to be an alternate thing. You can also just use it in a regular offer. Inside of here, let's say if I want my player to be at least 21 years old just to be able to buy this alternate gnome, you can get this function called get minimum purchase age. You can do an override country code, sales division code, platform family, decides computes and equals, and you can set that to 21. So this is going to be, for example, my the age, I'm setting at my minimum purchase age. Now this could be again 12, 16, like 45, or you have to be 90 years old. It could be the seniors discount or something. You know what I mean? Now this returns the age of buying stuff, but because it does that, we can also use it to basically limit different things like what country you can buy stuff in. Now to do that, we're gonna go back up to here into our products info, and we're going to add in a new section which is going to be for our country codes. So first things first, I want to call this country codes. This is going to be public equal to a module, like so. And inside of here now, we're going to add in our country codes. Now here's a few examples. You have Antarctica, which is AQ, Canada, which is CA, and the United States of America, which is US. Now, in the example Epic provided, they do say that country codes use the ISO 3166-1A-2 standard, and subdivision codes use the ISO 31662 code, excluding country code portions. So those are just like what you want to use for the thing. So for example, on the official country code website, we're using A2, so Alpha 2. So you can find all the different codes for all the different countries you want. So for example, if I wanted to get where I live, which is Ireland, where's Ireland? Ireland. Right here, Ireland. I want to do IE. So inside my code, if I want to do Ireland, I can do Ireland public string, and I can equal that to IE, and that will give me my Ireland country code. Alright, so again, now back down to here, since we have our country codes now, let's say if I wanted to make it so I can actually, you have to be in a certain country to get the offer. So to do that, we're going to use the same function, but we're going to use this logic. So basically, for example, if country code is country codes United States of America, or country code equals Canada, what it does is that if it is, it'll set the minimum purchase age to 0, and if it's not, it'll set it to 1,000. So basically what this means is that if it is the country, it'll set it to an age where everybody can get it, but if it isn't, it'll set it to an impossible age. So for example, if I'm not in the United States of America or Canada, it'll set it to age 1,000 limit, so I won't be able to buy the item. And if you are, it'll set it to 0, and everyone will be able to buy it if you're in that. So that's how you do it. So this is how you make a special offer in a certain country if you want. Now I haven't figured out how to do it with dates yet. So for example, you can make it so if today's date is, for example, a certain day, between a certain day, you'd be able to change the age to 0 or 1,000 depending on, so you can have limited time deals for a month or something like that, or like for Christmas there's a special deal or something like that. You can just have how many offers you want, and they'll just dynamically change and how you write the verse. Now just so I can actually see this, I don't live in the United States of America or Canada. I'm actually from Canada, by the way. I actually was born there, but I live in Ireland, so I'm going to just do if country code is equal to country codes. I mean, I'll do this country codes, and I'll just make it so it's equal to Ireland. Again, we define this up here. If you remember, in here we're defined it up here, so it's gonna be IE. So it's gonna check if it's actually IE, and if it is, it'll mean that I'm in Ireland and I'll be able to use it. Okay, so now the next thing I'm gonna cover is bundles, and basically bundles are offers that you can combine together and you can make your own stuff. Now there's two kinds of bundles. There's stacked bundles and there's also multi-offer bundles. Now the difference between them is that a stacked bundle is just one item or one off product, and a multi-offer is multiple products. So for example, if I wanted to make a offer for my gnome bundle offer, actually, you know what, I'm just going to copy all this because I'm not bothered to type out. We're just going to copy all this, place it down here. This is going to be my gnome stacked bundle offer. Now you can give it a different product name if you want. So for example, I might just delete this and I'm going to do gnome mega bundle. I'm just going to interject here and say that I did actually do a mistake here. You don't want to type it out directly inside of the offer. You want to put all the information inside products info and then bring it in through the offer that way. I did a mistake here. I'm going to correct it later, but just so you don't make the same mistake as me, do it how you kind of did the other offers. And now I've just imported 2 other images. You can probably tell what I'm doing. So this is the stacked bundle. As you can see, it's a bunch of gnomes. And for our multi-offer bundle, as you can see now, we basically get a gnome, a gun, and a shield potion. To actually use this now, I'm just going to copy this name, and I want to change this to our gnome stacked bundle icon. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. This bundle offer is not a product offer. It's a special one called bundle offer. So I'm going to have to do this bundle offer like that. There you go. And then inside of this, instead of product type, we're just going to get rid of that, and we're going to call it offers. So it's going to be our offers inside of our bundle. And then inside this offers, you want to have an override tuple offer in. And this is a tuple, so it'll contain our offer and an int, which is how many we're offering, and then we can have an array of what it is. So our offer is going to be our basic gnome, and then it's going to be of 3. So our bundle is going to go as 3 basic gnome, and then our price of our bundle, since it's 500 bucks for a gnome, I'm guessing a good 750 for it. I don't know. I don't think any player will actually spend 750 bucks on 3 gnomes. Let's be real. I would price them more modestly, but just as an example, 750 for a pack of gnomes, and there we go. And this would be our stack the bundle offer. Now, like I said, you can make another bundle offer. This is going to be our multi-offer bundle offer. And this is going to be basically this is going to be our mega multi-bundle, and this is going to be one of everything, please. And basically then inside of here we'll get our icon, which is going to be it's going to be this one. I'll copy the name, and then inside of here then we'll just paste it inside of here with Gnome Gun Shield multi-offer icon bundle. Now offers down here will be slightly different. It's not going to look like this, so we're just going to get rid of this. And it's going to look something like this, where we'll have offers override. It's going to be the same thing up here, but in the array, you contain all the different items you want and also how many you want as well. So this is a bundle of 1 of each. So it's going to be a basic gnome of 1, basic gun of 1, and basic ship potion of 1. And that's how you do it like that. Look at that. And we're going to price this as like 2,000 V-Bucks because we're trying to make that moolah, you know what I mean? But anyway, and this would be our bundle now made, which is pretty cool as well. Okay, so I just went through and I just made a gun offer very quickly, and I made a ship potion offer, which is literally just repeating the same process, just did it didn't take very long. So basically, this is all our offers, products, and all our product info, all that done now. That's pretty much everything. There's a few more things you can probably do with this, I'm gonna guess, just have a little bit more fun with it. Those are just the basics, and of course we have our bundles now. The last thing is that actually we have to make our logic for our device because as you can see on begin, it's kind of blank down here. There's nothing down here. We just have everything up here, but we have nothing down here. So what can we actually put in here to make it have functionality? Now, if you actually make the marketplace template, if you scroll all the way down, you can see that there's actually a pre-made device that Epic have made called a marketplace setup device. Now, this device actually contains a ton of different, like, really useful stuff inside of it that you can use yourself if you want. That you can probably just, what you can do is literally just, I go to the bottom of this. I can literally probably just do this. I'm just going to copy and paste it. I'm just going to do this. And we're going to go back into our main device, delete this, and we're just going to paste it in here. And now we have all this logic inside of our actual device inside of here. So now this is gone now, so we'll just have this now, and we'll just file it. Now we have 31 errors. Let's see what the problem is. Okay, we have a few problems in verse. To fix them, firstly, we have this variable expected to be initialized. Our max counts are in we're just going to set those to 1 instead of setting them to floats because they're supposed to be ints. Same with you as well. And again, also our V-Bucks, they're supposed to be floats as well. So it's actually the opposite. So if you look at all our V-Bucks, we're just going to do 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, and also 0.0 as well. And then we'll compile that again. Slightly less errors. Okay, it seems I did this wrong. I don't know why there's 2 textures, so I'm just going to remove those. I think I pasted it in, but I didn't actually remove the other texture. Unknown member, gnome alternate products in my products info. Oh, I see. I spelled this wrong. So it's going to be, oh, there's no T. That's why. That makes sense, actually. I'll put those T's in, and then I'll go back up here, and I'll just put T there. Okay, we're getting there. Variable expects to be initialized with a value type message, but this nicer is incompatible type car. I'm going to guess it's in here. I might have did this wrong. Yeah, like it's probably these. I want to just I'm going to go back up to here, and I'm going to redo this where I'm going to have my bundles and like the text is going to be a module. I think I'm going to do that like that. Just do what I'm doing here and create all of them. You know, sometimes we're wrong. So we do just message stack. This is going to be our multi bundle offer inside of our module. We're going to put that name. I'll just do it for all 3. So let's do that. This is our description and this R. And that should do it like that. And we should not have those errors. Unexpected module. This variable expects to be initialized with value type message. But this initialization is capital with type stacked. Okay, I need to do, I forgot to do short description here. Okay. Hold on a minute. We're almost there. There's a bunch of different problems with basic gnomes. You mean by products, basic gnome? Oh, I'm stupid. I used the product name. I'm supposed to be using the offer. So it's a gnome offer. I'm just using gnome offer inside the bundle, not product name, which is, so we have gnome offer here. We're just going to do our other offers. So we're going to do inside here, and we're going to do our gnome offer again. We also want to do our gun offer. It's this one, and then we're going to do also our ship potion offer inside of this one. That should do it, and that should get rid of more errors. I do believe that unknown identifier products and unknown identifier example offers are just from the code we popped and paste. We just have to change the products modules to my products. It'll be my product offers. This is going to be replaced with okay, I see. So these are all the default ones that Epic provided. We're just going to replace the last stuff with what we have, which is going to be all of our examples. So it's going to be all of our offers. So it's going to be our gnome offer, my offer dot gnome offer, like so. We got my offer or offers. The offers or offers? Oh my god, it's offers. Okay, so we have gun offer. This is literally just going to be all of our offers we just made. We're just going to put them into here. Gun offer. Actually, I just realized in this last line, so we're just going to add in a bracket after credit. So just add the brackets for each offer, and it should work. We'll see how it goes. Of course, this also needs to be changed to what's called our island, my island product. This won't be defined if you remember. Same thing with over here. Say that invalid access internal class. Okay, I'll go back up to where we defined our first thing. We have to make it so it can make it public if that's possible. Now we're on to just one last error, which is script error that a variable expects to be initialized with a value of type tuple. This initializer isn't compatible with type tuple any. I did it right. I didn't know what the documentation said. Oh brother, you gotta be kidding me. There's a little comma right here. Oh my god, right? Okay, that should do it now. There we go. We have compiled successfully. Okay, now with all of that done, finally, if we compile verse, it should work now. There we go. And if I go up into my window and then I go into my tools and I go into product catalog, you should now see that we now have all our different products. So you can see the icons, you can see the path, you can see if it's consumable or not. The max counts is if there's any disclosure. So if I enabled like a paid area, or if it's a random item, whatever it's called, a paid random item, it will say it in there. In the description, you can see the description, and then you can see the short description. Now remember, these are my products, not my offers, so we're not going to see any offers in here, so just keep that in mind. Okay, but anyways, we're going to have to go back to verse now because we're not done yet. Okay, we're not done just yet. We have to first actually make our storefront that we can actually use and have different things like buttons or things that can handle purchases, if that makes sense. So we imported all of this stuff over here, so this should do. You should be able to use different things with this if you want. If I find on begin or up here, I'm gonna make it editable right here, which is going to be for a trigger or something like a button device. And this is just going to be what we're going to use to open up our UI for our store. So it's going to be our button device. This is going to be what we're going to use. Okay, so once we have our button device as an editable, we can basically then get our button. We can then get the event called interacted with event, and we're going to subscribe a function we're going to call open store, like that in store. And this is going to open up the UI for our store. Now to actually do that, we actually make our function that we're going to do. So we're going to do open store. We're going to do agent type agent. We're going to do that equal to void, and then inside of here, if, and we're going to do if player is equal to player agent. We're just going to get the agent. If this is a trigger, you want to do like a maybe agent. And then when you open the store, what I'm just going to do is you can do two things. We already made this function called show array of offers down here, and basically what that is just it's literally what we just did. So we could just do player like that, and we can spawn it in like that, or we could do it straight up inside of this. So it'll be like it will be something like this, where it's basically the same thing we wrote at the very bottom down here. It's literally the same thing, but it just has all of our offers. So these are not my offers, so just I copied this out from the documentation, but this is how you write it. But I'm just going to use that instead because it's our function. We already built it basically, so we don't need it. And basically that will show the UI for our stores, so that's all we need. So with all this constructed now, I'm going to compile it back into our device. You can now see we have a button slot right here. And if I just place a button in my world, this is going to be the button that I'll be using to open up our shop. So I'll do a button right here, blah, 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 like that. And I'm just going to connect it to here. And this is going to be our button. It's going to be called open shop. And this will allow us to see all of our offers on display. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to launch my session finally, and we're going to see in game what this actually looks like. So now in game, if I press this button, would you look at that? We are now in our store. So you can see we have our gnome for 500 V-Bucks. We have our gun for 200, shield potion for 50, alternate gnome for 250, half price, special price today. I don't believe it. And also we have our mega multi-bundle. Now I don't know where my triple gnome bundle is. I don't know where that went, but basically we'll be able to buy all of our stuff. So for example, I can buy a gun, and would you look at that, equivalent to €2. Oh my god, €2 for a gun. Look at this. basically there's a bunch of different stuff. I'll basically be able to purchase it. Again, obviously I'm not actually buying anything. Obviously I didn't actually get anything because I haven't actually set up item renters or anything like that to actually give me a gun yet. But basically it's kind of working. It should be working now. I don't actually have enough money for this. It's kind of sad. You can actually inspect the bundle so you can see what's actually inside of it. So you can see a gnome, a gun, shield potion. It actually just say owned, so let me know if I'm actually if I've owned it that has a that's durable. I think I can max it out to 3, so yeah, owned out to 3, so I can max it out to 3. And if I wanted to, I'll get the alternate gnome for half price. And look at that. There we go. You can see all this stuff. Okay, cool. You're probably wondering, how do we actually grant an item when the person buys something? So this is how. I'm just gonna use item renters. This is gonna be our gun granter. We have a gun granter, and then we'll have our other granter, which are our shield granter. So once we got both of these gun granter and shield granter, now the one question now lies is, how do we actually grant our items to the player? Then to do that, currently we're going to make a function. I'm going to put an underscore right here, and it's going to be called on product change. And basically this is going to activate when we change our product. Now there's actually a function we can use. If you go down here onto on player join, this is the thing we copied and pasted earlier. There's a thing called get product changed event, and this is a special event. We can use this to listen to purchase events in our game session, and it gives us a player and a product type. Now we can use this to basically detect if the player has bought an item and do stuff about that. Now, first things first, though, is that we need to actually make our product change function. Now, inside of our purchase change tier, we're going to I think it is actually I think this is subscribed to on purchase change here. I'm gonna make it from scratch again, so I'm just gonna copy and paste this and put it down into here. This is inside of our on player join. So basically we need to make it so this works with this this right here. So what we're gonna do is, inside of on product change, so we're going to accept in a tuple called results, and this is going to be a tuple, and a tuple basically can store multiple things. We're just going to store in the player, and we're also going to store in product, so like this. So product change like this with our product like that, and then we'll do void equals. Now the way this will work is that this assigns or subscribes to when a player joins. So when it will subscribe to, so on player joins, it's going to subscribe the get product change event to the player that joined. This is also in on begin up here, which is basically it's going to subscribe the on player join when we get play space get player added event. So when the player is added, it's going to get on player join. Now the thing about this though is that it will only work for people join during the game. So we don't have the functionality yet to actually make it so when a player does join when the game starts. If you want to do that, it's pretty simple. We're just going to get an editable, and we're just going to get a player spawn pad. We're just going to be our player spawner device. This is just going to be where the player will spawn in the world. Literally, we're just going to assign that device to it. And then once we have this now, we're going to go into our on begin, and we're just going to put in our spawn pad, and we're going to get spawn event, and we're going to subscribe that to the thing down here, which is on player join. So on player join. Now this is going to fail because I think it'll fail. Oh, no, because this is I do this. Look, it's going to fail. This is because it gives the function an agent, but this function only takes a player. To fix this, it's pretty simple. We just want to convert the agent to a player. So we're just going to get our agent, type agent. We're just going to replace that with that. And then we're going to make an if player is equal to player agent like this. It's going to get the player out of the agent. We just want to move all these to the side so they're underneath the if. And actually, we'll call this in players, which is everything. There we go. So once we have that now, basically on player join will now work when you actually start the game. We should see at the top left that adding product change subscription player subscription, that should appear on the top left if it's working. And then this is now our function is now going to be subscribed to player join. So on product change, this is how we're going to actually detect if we're going to what product is changing and what we can do depending on which product it actually is. If I look into product change, you're going to notice that we have a few things with the product, we have quantity, and we have chain. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at the quantity because we can use that to detect how much we have of the product. So next step is that we're going to go into here, and I'm just going to get rid of this bracket, and we're just going to type in for product change. Now this is going to be for our product change. We're going to get a results, and we're going to do 1. Now basically what this means, it's going to get the index in the tuple. It's going to be, since it starts with 0, this is going to be our second thing, even if it's 1, so it's going to be this right here. If we want the player, we'll do result 0. I'll say that later in a second. We'll do product equal to product change product. Now I have the product out of the product change thing. If my products, which is our we made earlier, we'll then grab our product. So this one is going to be our basic gun. If that is the product, inside of our product change. And then once we have this, we want to check the quantity of this. So if this is basically where you do your logic now. We'll do product change. So if it's greater than 0, we're going to grant the gun, because since this is a durable item, you can only have one of them. I know it's like a one-time purchase thing, so you'll keep it forever. If you want, you can make systems where you grant the gun depending on if you have the gun or not at the start of the game, just to make it so it works. It's not going to do it automatically, so you just want to do a system like that where it'll grant the players that have the gun to them at the game start if they bought the item before in another game or previously. So they'll keep their items that they buy, so it's actually durable. I do believe the actual API, like, you know, it tracks if the player has purchased it. It's just that you have to grant the item to them if it has. But anyways, basically, if the quantity is 0, we're gonna get our gun granter, and we're gonna grant the item. That's gonna be of our to our result 0, because that's going to be the index in the tuple that's our player. And we look at that, it's done. And now if you want to do our shield, we'll do else if, and it's literally the same thing. My products basic, I think it's called shield potion. It's one of the first things you made. If I meant to add product. If it's the product, then we're going to do if product change quantity, and if it's greater than 0, then we will gun granter the item. Now you can make it so the quantity of the item, it grants different amounts of the item, depending on if it is. Oh, sorry, I said gun granter. I meant to shield, and I'll grant that result 0. Basically, you can make it so it will grant different amounts depending on how many there actually is, or something like that. So if you have, let's say, if at the end of the game I have 2 shield potions and I log back in, you can basically either do like a keep inventory thing with like a save device or something like that, or just with like weak maps. So you can store the data and do stuff like that. But again, consumable items, again, you can consume them, so you might want to add a system where you'll reduce the quantity depending on if a player has consumed a shield potion. It's a little bit finicky. I haven't actually really figured it out yet, because you can't exactly track how if you consume a shield potion, you can't exactly track that. It's a bit finicky, but you might be able to do it. I don't know. But anyways, what we just wrote out here now, we've done we've done this function, we've done this now, and we have all of our spawn pad events, and also that, you know, hooked up through on again. If we just save and compile this, it should be good. And then back in UEFN, I'm just going to delete one of the spawn pads, and then I'm going to make it so this is attached to the spawn pad. And then we're going to need 2 item granters. Item granter, we'll get item granter 1. It's going to have a pistol in it. It should be here somewhere. Hold on. There we go. And then I'm gonna on grant action, I'm gonna keep all sorted items, and then on the other one I'm going to then do shield. There we go. And then back in here we're just gonna grab our gun granter and our shield granter, and that should all work like that. So now we just want to go in game and we'll check it out. Okay, now we've loaded in. If I start my game, you should see the top left, I should see the subscription go on. So you see, look out there, added product change subscription. Now that means that we have now subscribed to the event. That means that we can now actually get our item. But anyways, let's actually just press this button, open the store, and we'll buy a gun. We'll see how it goes. And we look at that, we now have a gun. And if I buy my shield potion, would you look at this? Now I have a shield potion, so you can do whatever you want. Now again, it's a little bit weird how if you have a consumable item like what I just did, if you look in here now, the shield potion will say 1, but I've already consumed it. It's because you have to control consumables by yourself, if that makes sense. So you have to reduce the number if you consume a shield pot. I don't know how to actually do that. I don't think there's any API in the verse yet that detect if somebody's using a shield pot or something like that, or loses an item. You might be able to use an inventory components in scene craft, but I haven't figured it out yet. If anybody knows, let me know. But mainly, the gun should work also, because now like I can't even buy it because I've already bought it. It's also important to mention that when you log back into the game, you're not going to have your items unless you make a system where you have a player save data or something else like that. So yeah, because again, durable items, this lasts forever. So if you buy it, you should always have it. So just make sure you have a system where that happens. And it'll say if it's a consumable item, you just want to make sure you always have it as well. If you bought like 3 and you used 1 and you log back in, you should have 2. You know what I mean? If you just want an example on how you can make like that persistence thing, you can find the feature example for in-game island transactions. First thing you also want to do is go into art, textures, and delete the QR code. Once you open the verse code in this project, there's actually a lot of cool examples on what you can actually do. But for example, in door unlock, there's like a really good example where this is basically for a paid area, and when you can see this is more like like what we did earlier. This is kind of pretty much the same thing. But down here is a good little function, which is restoring the state. So you can see for restore door state, basically what it will do is it will check the purchases of the player and see if they have VIP access. And then if they do, then it'll open the door. And if they don't, it will close the door. That's just how you can make it so it's durable, basically. You can have like different things like this. It's all customizable, really. Also, just last thing in this video is that this how to handle the paid random items and direct prompts, which are two of the things that are a little bit more. You have to read the restrictions documentation from earlier. To basically manage it, you need to use the allow paid random items function, which is this one right here. You need to use that if you're going to be handling with paid random items, and the same kind of thing with direct prompts, where you have to use the allow direct prompts purchase function. Just put that where you like, buy stuff or do whatever, and that should be good. Anyways, it's all up to you on how you want to configure it. That's pretty much it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I might do another part that goes over custom marketplace UIs. It's a little bit more complex, and I just want to go over that as well. But yeah, that's about it for the video. Remember to like, subscribe, use my code for Arm Shop. Thank you to all members of the channel. And remember to watch all of these videos for more of my content. That's about it. I'll see you all around.